Requesting everyone to kindly take their seats with mobile phones kept on to silent mode. Once again requesting everyone to be seated with all mobile phones kept on to silent mode. A very warm welcome to the Bharat Defence Summit 2024. Communications, security, innovations move towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. And ladies and gentlemen, we begin this very important summit with the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony. And I have the privilege in inviting on the stage for lighting the lamp our Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, Director General of Information Technology, DGIT, Indian Army. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir. I invite a special guest of honor, Lieutenant General M. Unikrishnan Nair, PVSM, AVSM, SM, retired National Cyber Security Coordinator, National Security Council, Secretariat, Government of India. Warm welcome, sir. I invite a guest of honor, Shri B. Shankar Jaiswal, IPS, Joint Commissioner of Police, Technology, Cyber and Licensing, Delhi Police. I invite Mr. Prashant Oberoi, Director India and SAC, Norden Communication. I invite Mr. Pankaj Shukla, Head of Customer Engineering, Public Sector and Education of Google Cloud, India. Brigadier Anil Tandon, retired, Director General Broadband India Forum. CEO, Norden Communications, Mr. Vijay Kumar, and Mr. Shashidharan, Managing Director, Bharat Exhibitions. So, ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, we begin every auspicious occasion by lighting the ceremonial lamp, invoking the gods and goddesses and seeking the blessings of the Almighty to guide us for the success of all our endeavors. And each wick being lit and passed from one to another symbolizes the sharing of knowledge. And let's once again put our hands together on that auspicious beginning of this very important summit, Bharat Defence Summit 2024, Move Towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you for doing the honors. May I request dignitaries to kindly take their seats on the stage. Namaskar and good morning, Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, Director General of Information Technology, DGIT, Indian Army. Special Guest of Honor, Lieutenant General M. Unikrishnan Nair, PVSM, AVSM, SM, National Cyber Security Coordinator, National Security Council, Secretariat, Government of India. Guest of Honor, Shri B. Shankar Jaiswal, IPS, Joint Commissioner of Police, Technology, Cyber and Licensing, Delhi Police. Esteemed dignitaries on the dais, our special invitees, senior government officials, military leaders, defense industry experts, and key stakeholders from the defense sector, distinguished participants, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Bharat Defence Summit 2024, organized by Bharat Exhibitions, supported by United Service Institution of India, Broadband India Forum, BIF, Digital Infrastructure Providers Association, DIPA, ITU APT Foundation of India, and Indian Space Association. Today's summit, under the theme Communications, Security, Innovations, Move Towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, is a platform to bring together visionaries, policymakers, and industry leaders to discuss the critical innovations and advancements shaping India's defense sector. In this opening session, we will focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat, strengthening digital security and defense solutions for a secure India. To start this important session, I have the privilege to invite Mr. Shashidharan, MD of Bharat Exhibitions, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. Dharan is a respected leader in organizing platforms that foster innovation and collaboration in technology and defense. His efforts have significantly contributed to driving the conversations that matter most for India's self-reliance in the defense sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome Mr. Shashidharan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the Bharat Defense Summit 2024. I'm so happy today. More than that, if my dad would have allowed, we'll be happy because so many officers here. He was an ex-signal officer. I lost him in 95. And I'm so happy to see, SONC here and the General Singh and so many officers. I go back to my school days when I used to be in KV, Kendra Vidyalaya, from Signal Center. We used to go to this. So, having said that, we have a distinguished speakers today, the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. A warm welcome to General Singh, General Oni Nair, Jaiswal Sahab, our well-wisher, all been there. And the good part is, day after tomorrow, which is the 8th of December, Bharat Exhibition will be completing, serving the industry 21 years. So last 21 years, we've been serving the telecom, the cyber security, and lately smart cities and all. So thank you very much giving all the supports we are now 21-year-olds baby. We are still baby, not an matured. We are a 21-year-old. I don't want to spend much of a time talking about various technologies and the defense needs, but I only want to say one word, that Indian Army is looking at its various technologies, and the Indian Army has come far from where they have started, and now that technology, as the technology morning, evening is changed. Colonel Vikram Tiwatia told me once, Shashi, we are in 4G, now you are talking 6G. That's what we do, because when the 4G came, now we did 6G, already the two conferences over. Our 6G, third 6G is in in May next year. So this is how the technology is fast changing. And I'm sure our forces also need to be updated, need to use all those technologies, modernization, the police modernization, all this which required to save our country from them. And today, no doubt that India is in the world map, no doubt about it. We should be hearing the stalwarts from the defense and the police will be talking about the technology. So I don't want to waste much of a time here on this. I would like to say thanks to all the dignitaries on the dais who take out time from their busy schedule and here with us, listening to us and talking to us on the technology part. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed for those warm words of welcome and introduction to today's summit and setting the stage for further discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prashant Oberoi, Director India and SAC, Norden Communication, is a thought leader in communication technologies, bringing years of experience in leveraging advanced solutions to enhance defense and security infrastructures. His insights will focus on the transformative potential of communication in achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Prashant Oberoi for the keynote address.
Good morning, everyone. distinguished guest on the dais, and it's my privilege to be among you. We are so many people in uniform. It's pleasure, privilege, honored to see so many people taking out their time from busy schedule. Thank you very much. As we know, in any case, India is home to second largest army in the world and a formidable force. Not only ensures for the security of our borders, or even for keeping the peace all across the world. We have more than 1.4 million personnel who are integral to our national security. And it is just not the size that sets it apart. Over the many years now, India has embarked in rapid modernization to ensure that our forces are up to date, equipped with latest technologies, and the shift is driven now with leading edge capabilities with surveillance, communication, and strategic defense systems. A major drive in this modernization is Make in India initiative from the PMO, the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the self-reliant system in defense production, reducing dependency on the imports from world-class fighter aircraft like Tejas, which are already there in the forces now, to making the ambitious corridors of defense production in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. The defense corridors are coming up very fast. These are developing at very rapid pace. These initiatives have accelerated the innovations, and obviously the contribution for all stakeholders has also become much bigger, be it the forces or the industry, and a mutual collaboration to make this Atmanirbhar Bharat forward. With this exports rising steadily, India is now at many places a preferred partner in global defense, contributing to supply of key technologies to various countries as well. From a purely import nation, we are moving slowly towards strategic exports as well. As we witness all these positive developments, it is important to recognize the role of security and surveillance that play in major modern defense to safeguard our assets, enhance our operational readiness, situational awareness. At that point, we must invest in best-in-class solutions. This is where we come in. Norden plays a role. We are proud to be a trusted security and surveillance solution provider for multiple sectors, including defense. Our advanced surveillance system provides real-time, high-definition monitoring, ensuring the armed forces can have intelligence needed to make swift decisions, right decisions. Our infrastructure products like cabling supports secure and advanced communication, including the latest technologies which are coming into these particular sector, making the infrastructure more and more intelligent with the rapid AI being used even as a threat. So AI I always say, only counter to AI is AI. So that's where we come in to play in terms of playing the role and help maintain clear coordinated communication across all levels. Norden is committed for supporting India's modernization effort. In 2025, beginning 2025, we will roll out our Make in India products, making this Make in India initiative further strengthening our commitment towards the country, towards self-reliance and innovation. As India continues to expand its defense manufacturing capabilities, we are here to ensure that armed forces have the tools to stay ahead of the increasingly complex and challenging landscape. In conclusion, we are just defining the moment of India's defense journey, where one innovation, self-reliance, and global partnerships are the key to make it more stronger, resilient nation. Norden is proud to be part of this journey, and I am again very proud, very privileged to be among you, and so many people. I really feel overwhelmed seeing so many people sitting in the audience wearing our forces, and it is a pleasure and proud moment for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that enlightening address and for sharing the vision that emphasizes the importance of communication technologies in national security. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have the industry address by Mr. Pankaj Shukla, who is Head of Customer Engineering, Public Sector and Education for Google Cloud India. Mr. Shukla is a trailblazer in the tech industry with vast experience in deploying the cloud-based solutions for transformative services. His topic, the transforming services through sovereign data and AI cloud, highlights the intersection of innovation, technology, and defense. So let's give a warm round of applause and welcome Mr. Pankaj Shukla for the industry address.
Bring the presentation, please. Hi, good morning, everyone, and respected sirs on the dais. It's my privilege to come here and talk to you, especially about the advent of AI. So all of you have already heard of AI. You're already using about AI and data analytics in some or other way. But the core of my topic is that how do we basically marry the emergence of AI, which is happening on the cloud world, in the open source world, and in the emergence of cloud services, and how do we bring it to on-prem to the defense forces, especially to the forces who want to operate in a sovereign mode. That is the topic of my presentation and the talk today. I just wanted to start with a video which basically talks about the future of AI assistant, right? This was a vision which Google's DeepMind has of today for a near future, that how does the AI assistant look like in a very short period of time? Does it run? Can you run the video, please?
Okay, let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
No problem, I think it comes. Yeah, okay, now
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
okay, this can bring up the presentation. So this was a project which Google DeepMind has, which working on it, and it is to be coming in next few months or time. So moving on. Yeah, so changing the photography landscape. So for example, you simply write a prompt saying that create a elephant, it's a knitted elephant which is walking on the savannah, especially in a blurry background, and it simply creates this photograph, right? Similarly, generation of videos. I can go on, but we don't have enough time. The idea is that what is the science behind this art? And the science behind this art started, so you know about Google. Google has been using AI in some or other way since last 15 to 20 years. But when it started, especially as far as the generative AI is concerned, the journey started with the acquisition of DeepMind. And in 2016, when DeepMind released the transformer model, and basis which there has been a continuous progression of models coming up, foundational models, not just Google, but the entire open source world, entire industry, working on this and creating models which are suitable for different type of tasks. Today, for example, Google has Gemini, which is a multimodal model with 2 million context, where you can simply put a 2 hour of video and then ask any questions, just in a single context window. And then you can have multiple types of inputs, which could be PDF, text, voice, video, photographs, anything which you like. So one aspect is the model. The other aspect is also about the platform. That typically when you build AI use cases, you don't only need the model, which can be available from multiple sources, but you need an infrastructure, first of all, with things like GPUs or TPUs. But on top of that, you need an AI platform which basically provides you the tools for grounding, for tuning and training your models, for building your applications once you have built. So for example, for doing an end-to-end ML ops, you need application engineering, data engineering, and ML engineering. You need all of those tools. And then on top of that, you can build applications for search and conversation, or multiple applications which could be domain specific, especially in defense. From Google's point of view, it is called Vertex AI, but this can come in multiple formats, but this is something what is required. Now, if you look at, most of the innovation is happening on the public cloud at this point of time, because it takes a lot of time to actually create and build some of these technologies on-prem, if you want to build it. Now here, for example, this is Google Cloud's public cloud infrastructure, which we have in India, which is from the infrastructure, platform services, AI services, data services, and a multiple of services. All of these services will also be required when you are actually building AI and you are building data lakes. Now the idea is that why should you use only public cloud to deliver some of these capabilities? Because you will require, you have regulations to take care for, you have survivability, you have privacy concerns, local data processing, possibly in completely air-gapped mode, right? Now this is a technology which we are bringing, which basically combines all the goodness of the public cloud and the AI world, the innovation which is happening, the tools which are there, and the sovereignty of and the security of an on-prem air-gapped environment, right? So this is a solution which basically combines from infrastructure, which is GPUs, validated infrastructure, plus all the managed services. On top of that, all the AI tools, the third-party ISV softwares, and then it is available in both modes, connected as well as completely air-gapped. And then on top of that, you can deliver all those use cases completely built for zero trust end-to-end, AI, built AI anywhere, and then there are a lot of use cases which can come. Now, on top of that, it is available in both modes. You want to build large data centers, multiple sites, multiple regions, you can start from few racks of solution to hundreds of racks to multiple sites. But for the forward locations, a condensed version of all those software innovations on top of a small box, which you can put on the forward locations to do reconnaissance or to do AI use cases which you want. Some of the use cases which we have seen, basically, especially in the defense forces, for example, offline AI-enabled signal analysis, that can happen from the data center, but that also needs to happen on the edge, or possibly in the tactical locations or the forward locations. Essentially, it is about signal analysis and building on top of that the different kind of AI use cases on top of that to provide you insights. Things like that small box which I showed, in a completely air-gapped mode for maintenance purposes. For example, you have data, and especially the people who are maintaining the aircrafts or the defense equipments, they can leverage that data or the manuals, and right away, based on the problem, it tells the person who is maintaining that how to solve this problem in a completely air-gapped mode. Translation, multiple foreign languages, where there are documents, classified documents possibly, and then you want to translate it live as you go. Use cases like secured offline GenAI assistant search, huge amount of data, huge amount of information which is there, that needs to be leveraged for the intelligence purposes and for the different use cases which you can. So this solution, basically, you can deploy it simply like RAG solution and build capabilities on top of that to do the search capabilities. So this was a short time, but I just wanted to let you know that today we have the technology where we can bring the AI on-prem to deliver some of these use cases, but many other use cases which we can think of. Thank you, and it was really a pleasure and honor to talk to you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your forward-looking insights and for shedding light on the critical role of cloud and AI in enhancing the defense operations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to invite Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, Director General of Information Technology, Indian Army. Lieutenant General Singh is a distinguished officer whose leadership Ladies and gentlemen, before that, we would like to invite our guest of honor, Shri B. Shankar Jaiswal, IPS, who is the Joint Commissioner of Police, Technology and Cyber and Licensing, Delhi Police. Shri Jaiswal is a leading authority in leveraging technology for public safety and security. His expertise in cyber and licensing innovation has played a crucial role in shaping the secure digital ecosystem in urban and defense settings. He leads projects like the Safe City Intelligent Traffic Management System and predictive policing, all aimed at enhancing the public safety and optimizing the police operations. So please join me in welcoming our guest of honor, Shri B. Shankar Jaiswal.
So I've started the stopwatch, precisely 10 minutes. Respected DAS and the distinguished audience, I'm really privileged to be here in such an august gathering. And I have my academic background also. I'm doing PhD in facial recognition system from IIT Delhi. And I'm trying to improve the accuracy of CCTV footage-based facial recognition and object detection. I'm also trying to include drone in my research. And previously, I did MS research from School of IIT Delhi, in predictive policing. So I use AI and ML models to predict crimes so that we can make adaptive deployment. So that's my background. And currently, I'm looking Safe City project of Delhi Police, where we have around 25,000 cameras. The project is nearly complete, and we are going to launch in a couple of months. And in this, we have many video analytics, semantics video-based anomaly detection, identifying situation where crimes can happen. So we want to prevent crime before it happens. Not exactly like Minority Report, but maybe inspired by that to some extent. So the major part is facial recognition. So today talk is more concerned focused towards challenges and opportunities because in our mission to become Atmanirbhar, in our mission to become Viksit Bharat, I think we are the golden period. Right ecosystem is there, and it is a new awakening. I'm sure all of us are so much charged these days, whether it's a research community, industry, startups, government. Wherever you go, there's a vibes for doing something, something for the country, and the right ecosystem is there. So with that perspective, I want to share a couple of what kind of challenges we are going to face and what are the opportunities before us. So I'll list out technology because there are so many of them. So because time is very short, I'll start with the current wave of AI. Since that's my area of research also, my workplace also gives me lots of insight on this area. So video analytics is one area I want to focus because future warfare would be what I can think of would be driven by technology. We will have robo soldiers. We may have drones assisting robo soldiers. So like we are moving towards synthetic biology and synthetic intelligence. Synthetic intelligence is the name of AI, and synthetic biology because biology can play a big role not only in terms of biological warfare, but also editing genetic material, and so that doing all kinds of. I mean, we have seen COVID, but in future we can see something similar if synthetic biology is used for that purposes, right? So drones and robotics, these are another areas where we feel that we have to be we should be concerned about, because drones are getting more and more sophisticated, more and more miniaturized, and drones are getting weaponized also. I mean, drones can play a big role, because when the drones swarm, if they work in tandem, if they work in collaboration, that can do that can put to a lot many advantages in warfare. It can be used for creating ad hoc network. It can be used to do coordinated attacks. So that is one. And robotics, you may have seen newspaper also. Robotics was a neglected area. It was limited to industries mostly. But now robotics are entering into with the wave of AI and with the kind of sophistication reinforcement learning has provided and LLM has provided, it is quite possible that drones would be actually playing the role of human beings in many fronts, many tasks, because AI has created a system where human tasks have already been mastered by AI technology. You see computer vision, you see audio, language, you name the things. Even AI can create codes for itself. I mean, so far AI system works on some codes written by human being. Now that code is basically neural network based. So neural network means it will adapt to the situation, but it is quite possible that the neural network itself will create a model which would be the requirement of the situation. For example, for attaining the objective of the autonomous agent, it is quite possible that a system can generate a code for its requirement, because we have seen that Copilot makes quite easy for anyone, any programmer to write codes. So if I want to write a code for certain thing, all I have to say that write few words in English and that codes would be written. So it is possible that when AI requires certain things to be done, maybe objective could be something in warfare, killing people. So for that, what kind of codes are required, that can be written on the fly. And because this is quite possible by Gen AI, so we have to think from that perspective also. So the combination of drones, robotics, and 5G, and now maybe later on 6G, when satellite communication would make communication all pervasive. I mean, no point, no area of this planet would be without any communication. So the combination of all these things, biological and synthetic intelligence, and another challenge is quantum computing. We should not disregard quantum supremacy, race for quantum supremacy, because many big tech firms, Google, IBM, and some leading countries who have got some quantum advantage, China and US. So what they are doing in terms of quantum computing, one is quantum computing itself, which will make cryptography, traditional cryptography haywire. The traditional cryptography, let's say RSA algorithms, Diffie-Hellman, which is this is the basis of all kinds of intelligence sharing, and also financial transactions. So if the encryption is decrypted using quantum computing, we should be aware that how to meet that challenge. I mean, there are solutions available. Post-quantum cryptography is already on the horizon. People are working on it. NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, US, they have already created a roadmap. And in our country also, controller of certifying authorities, I mean, we have a plan laid out. Now we should be very much aware that how quickly we adopt the post-quantum cryptography, so that our encryption systems are not decrypted. And there's something called harvest now, decrypt later. And that's a paradigm that our adversaries are following. They are collecting all the data which are encrypted currently, but they are storing that data with the hope that in future they will decrypt. Not future is not very far, maybe 2-3 years, 4 years. And they will come to know what is our thought process, what are our plans at this stage, so that based on that they can predict our behavior in future. And that will definitely be overlapping with our strategies and warfare. So this is very important. So all I want to say that, there is an ecosystem, but there are a lot many challenges. And how to meet those challenges? What are the opportunities before us? So I'll start with, there are many streams of technologies, right? 5G, quantum, robotics, Gen AI, synthetic biology. Now people are talking about biological computer. I mean, if so, human neurons are being used. It has been tested in lab in California. 50,000 neurons, which is equivalent of pin top, equivalent of a pin top, which can hardly be seen. Those 50,000 neurons were used for creating a computer model, a computation model, and a game called Pong was used, and people played a game of Pong. So this is the early stage of actual biological neural network, not the software equivalent of neural network, which we are aware of, which is what is synthetic AI. So if that kind of thing is happening, we should take the early bird advantage. We should not be missing out on these streams of technology, these trends of technologies. So this is one. So we should try creating foundational technology on all fronts, and that's what I wanted to share. Semiconductor bus we missed. Let us not miss the bus. Let us not miss the bus of quantum computing. I'm sure Government of India has already committed over 6,000 crores budget for a national quantum mission. But there are many streams, flavors of quantum computing. One is quantum communication, which is by the very nature of quantum computation, quantum communication, it is immune to eavesdropping. And this is the technology for security professionals, defense sector, intelligence community. Second is post-quantum cryptography. Third is quantum sensing. Quantum sensing is required because we need telemetry, we need precise measurement for many of our tasks, for missile technology, for anything. The more precise our measurement is, the better we are placed in terms of our accuracy. So we need to work on GPS, military grade GPS. Still we are not Atmanirbhar in military grade GPS. How precise our measurement, that will decide our accuracy in warfare. So this is, DRDO has created a division for low intensity conflict, and that division interfaces with law enforcement community. So I'm the member in technology committee of that low intensity conflict division, and there's a called Technology Council and Apex Council. Apex Council headed by Union Home Secretary. We meet quarterly and to see how technology which is being created in DRDO can be used by law enforcement community. So these are broad areas I wanted to share. In fact, AR, VR, and MR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. This is another area which is very useful because the kind of bandwidth we have, the kind of data we have, and the kind of models we have. The models driven by Gen AI, that is so precise, so human-like, even better than human. So we have to master this technology so that we can use this for simulation, for training, which is very much essential. We can use quantum sensing for precise measurement, and that can also go into that. So these are the broad areas, contours of challenges and opportunities I want to share today. And since I don't have much time, so I want to conclude here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your valuable perspectives, aid, and for sharing your expertise on intersection of technology and security. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have with us Lieutenant General M. Unikrishnan Nair, retired, Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Sena Medal, the National Cyber Security Coordinator, National Security Council Secretariat, as our special guest of honor. With a decorated career in the armed forces and as a leading voice in cyber security, Lieutenant General Nair has been at the forefront of driving India's cyber resilience and technological advancements. His leadership continues to inspire, innovate approaches to national security. General Nair was commissioned into the Corps of Signals of the Indian Army in 1984 and was the Signal Officer in Chief of the Indian Army when he took up the assignment of the National Cybersecurity Coordinator. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our special guest of honor, Lieutenant General M. Unikrishnan Nair.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely proud to be here amongst all of you. And I would thank the Bharat exhibitions for giving me an opportunity to interact with each one of you. I also see a lot of my former colleagues extremely proud to be part of this particular gathering along with each one of you. I also see a lot of serving officers from all the three services. Extremely glad that you could actually be part of this initiative by Bharat exhibitions. As the National Cyber Security Coordinator, my focus would be on securing the cyber landscape. I'm sure you heard one of the providers of services, the Google Cloud, mentioning to you about the services which they offer. You heard the previous speaker on the challenges of the AI ecosystem. So I take you to a different domain of cyber, which connects each one of us here. All of you are having a smart device with you, in fact, multiple smart devices probably. This is something which is going to actually hamper our growth towards a very secure society. So I would touch upon a few aspects. I also am glad that a lot of you are providing services to the armed forces. There are manufacturers from the defense industry who are here. So probably this is the first time that I'm having an opportunity to interact with you. So extremely glad to be here. With our nation's digital landscape transforming to a completely networked domain and with multiple services to our citizens being made available through our service providers, it's essential that we look at threats and risks that can emerge, which can have an impact, not only impacting on our citizens, but also our country's security fabric. I'm sure many of you would have heard of a term called the comprehensive national security. Now, it's a function of multiple elements ranging from military capabilities, political stability, financial vibrancy to energy security, health, wellness of our citizens, vibrancy of our science and technology, etc. The elements, so varied in nature and impacting on life of our citizens, are all interconnected by the cyberspace, be it through the networks ranging from terrestrial to radiating to space-based, to the large device ecosystem, or to the applications which each one of you have in your devices, or to the storage space, be it on cloud, as was mentioned a little earlier, or on-premise, again, which was mentioned. So these are this is the type of ecosystem which we have. The armed forces also have the air-gapped networks operating independently, servicing select clients. The network providers provide select clients. They have air-gapped networks. Any small security breach or vulnerability in any of this large ecosystem can impact on any of these elements of comprehensive national power. And that's why we keep mentioning it off and on. I'm sure you would have heard the Honorable Prime Minister also mentioning multiple times that cybersecurity today is an integral part of national security. As a routine and part of government machinery or any commercial organization, one doesn't feel the significance of security of cyberspace as a key result area. Investments and resource allocation in this area is therefore minimal and with implications not being thought of or considered while planning and discussing perspective plans, financial goals, etc. We are perhaps ignoring the single most factor that can freeze all our digital assets, impacting every citizen, not only of our country, but across the world. Today, the digital connect is not restricted to any boundaries. It actually has a global impact. Any commercial organization, public or private, can be crippled due to a cyber breach today, affecting services and society at large. We have seen multiple manifestations of the same, not only in our country, but across the globe, and such cyber incidents are only increasing. Technology convergence and rapid growth of digital public infrastructure in the Indian cyberspace has dramatically multiplied the attack surface through a combination of increased digital access, rapid digitization of services, and amalgamation of technologies and IoT devices. Also, the new technologies which was mentioned about AI, ML, data storage, analytical solutions, etc. Rapid proliferation of 5G services, which is unprecedented, and I think as Indians we all should be proud of the fact that we have one of the largest, the fastest 5G rollouts in the world. And we all should be extremely proud of it. The technology landscape is in fact changing so dramatically each day that with these comes better solutions, enhancing the quality of life of our citizens, enhancing efficiency of our systems and processes, but it also brings along with it added vulnerabilities. AI-driven technologies offer advanced threat detection capabilities and automation of functioning of many of our IT and OT systems. But threat actors are also molding AI to craft more sophisticated attacks. Adversarial machine learning and potential for AI-driven deepfakes pose novel challenges in the distinguishing between what is genuine, and we are in a very difficult position. We can't actually identify what is true, what is untrue, and this is a reality today. There are threat actors using advanced persistent threats, or APTs as they are generally called, which has seen a significant increase this year, mostly used by state-sponsored actors, criminal organizations, and hacktivist groups. APTs continue to engage in sophisticated long-term campaigns to compromise sensitive information. These exploits use vulnerabilities in both technology and human behavior domain, necessitating solutions that encompass technology, verticals, user awareness, training, and a robust incident response system. Now, as part of the defense manufacturing ecosystem, you have an onerous role of ensuring delivery of best products for our armed forces. Products, equipment, systems which are of superior quality, which are foolproof and can deliver the requisite punch when the situation so demands. Your equipments, systems, and platforms will have hardware and software associated with it, which also needs to be of the highest quality. While rigorous testing and by multiple agencies are involved in the selection of products for the armed forces, the inherent requirements of hardware and software makes them vulnerable from cybersecurity point of view during their manufacture, through their supply chain vulnerabilities, or during the usage through vulnerabilities in the software, even through connectivity to networks which may not be secure. It's therefore essential that you use reliable supply chains and ensure a foolproof cybersecurity ecosystem during the usage and maintenance cycle of the equipment and systems. Any vulnerability can be exploited by a threat actors today, which can render a complex system or equipment useless or less reliable, thereby impacting on our national security. This is something which I wanted to put it across to the manufacturers here, that you need to factor in cybersecurity as a practice when you are actually inducting systems, equipment into the armed forces. The ecosystem within your own manufacturing facilities also need to be protected from cybersecurity point of view, with your entire digital ecosystems of both IT and OT evaluated from a cybersecurity aspect. There are several breaches reported from the defense manufacturing ecosystem, which can translate onto threats for the users of such equipments, besides your own manufacturing facilities. Defense sector is one of the most targeted entities by threat actors, who may even attempt to steal your IPR credential at times. This is a thing which is an ongoing effort. While you may be aware of espionage cases in defense manufacturing sectors, especially in strategic systems, what perhaps goes unnoticed are the challenges posed by cybersecurity lapses and vulnerabilities. A lot of sensitive information is also compromised through the breaches in communication channels, which need to be addressed on priority. It's perhaps time that the defense industry bodies think about having cybersecurity and secure communications as a key result area as part of MOD consultations. I think this is something which you all need to look at. To reduce vulnerabilities posed from supply chain threats, it may also be appropriate to evolve a trusted source, trusted product concept in defense industry too, similar to the National Security Directive on telecom systems, which my office is actually directing as part of the telecom networks. So I think the defense ecosystem also needs to adopt a practice of a trusted source, a trusted product. I think this has to be done. At the device ecosystem level, we'll have to ensure that they're also free from vulnerabilities, as also the app ecosystem which rides on our networks. Many of the threats are within the capability of the network providers to tackle today, provided they monitor the network regularly for vulnerabilities and enhance their research and development on the cybersecurity domain. This is another aspect which I think all the service providers, as a society at large, we need to focus on. I don't think our industry is spending adequate R&D budgets for carrying out research and development, especially on issues related to security of their cyber domain. as also the secure communication channels through which they actually interact with the Ministry of Defense or with agencies whom they are actually providing support to. We are also looking at post-quantum cryptology, quantum key distribution, etc., about which the previous speaker just mentioned. A lot of work is also taking place in trying to create a repository of all the developments through a common platform. There are a lot of research which we are carrying out, a lot of developments, a lot of new products being launched. So we have an initiative called the Tech Saga, which is a portal which has been created by the DSCI, which actually is an initiative from the NSCS, where we have tried to have all the technology landscape mapped to one entity. So you could actually look at it from your own mobile devices. It's a platform which is available to the public today. As a nation today, we are constantly engaged in battles to safeguard our sovereignty, security, and privacy from inclusive and anonymous threats, both physical domains as also in virtual domains. India, in fact, ranks amongst the top 3 cyber-targeted nations in the world as a result of our vibrant and expanding digital public infrastructure. The predominant forms of cyber attacks include data breaches, identity theft, financial theft, and I'm sure all of you are aware of it because every day you open the newspaper or print media or social media, you'll find there's some cyber fraud which has happened in any part of the country, and many of them are affecting us as citizens. I'd also mentioned, we also need to take care of ransomware attacks and supply chain infections, which have made the challenge more complex. While several measures have been taken at multiple levels to maintain integrity of your supply chain, focused networks, a lot more requires to be done, and I touched on it a little earlier. Another aspect which requires urgent focus is skill development. We find that there's a lot of deficiency of skilled professionals in cybersecurity domain. This is a challenge we have actually taken upon ourselves, trying to have this particular aspect of cybersecurity being taught right from the school levels onto college, during graduation, post-graduation, have specialized courses on cybersecurity for postgraduates, addressing specific sectors, as also during graduation, if you are a computer science graduate, we are looking at cybersecurity capsules for the computer science graduates, as also specific courses on cybersecurity at graduation level. We all need to sit and take notice of cyberspace, an area of commonality connecting all pillars of development goals of our government and having an impact on every common citizen of our country. I'm sure our efforts together in this domain, with wholehearted participation of all of us, the citizens, the industry, the academia, and whole of governmental approach, will address the cybersecurity challenges and help in making our nation less vulnerable and more secure. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much indeed, Lieutenant General Nair, for your profound insights and for emphasizing the need for robust cybersecurity frameworks in defense. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my profound honor to invite Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, Director General of Information Technology, Indian Army. Lieutenant General Singh is a distinguished officer whose leadership has been instrumental in advancing India's defense capabilities in cybersecurity and tactical communication. His vision has been pivotal in integrating cutting-edge technology into the armed forces, ensuring a resilient and a secure digital India. The General Officer has 35 years of experience in handling of artillery, including surveillance and targeting assets. Has practical experience in plains, deserts, and mountains and high-altitude areas. As the Additional Director General of Artillery, he has handled sustenance, operational, and modernization aspects of the Regiment of Artillery. And ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, to kindly share his thoughts with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I must thank Dr. Shashidharan, the Managing Director of Bharat Exhibitions, for inviting me over here for this talk. When I saw the scope of work for the day today, I realized a lot of issues which are going to be discussed are related to AI, robotics, communications, security, and innovations, etc. They all fall under the overall ambit of information and communication technologies. So I will try and give a perspective of the defense forces as far as information and communication technologies are concerned, and how we look at these systems to enhance our military capabilities. So information and communication technologies, as commonly we refer it to as ICT, and I'll be using that term more often in the course of my talk over here. The scope of these activities under ICT has acquired huge dimensions and encompasses the civilian as well as military world totally. When we look at it from the military lens point of view, we realize that ICT has been now weaponized by our adversary in a very big way. The distinction of what was civilian use and what was military use, as was seen earlier, has now got totally diffused. When we look at the conflicts which are happening these days, the recent conflict of the Russia-Ukraine war, we realize that over here, civilian technologies and innovations have entered into the battlefield at a very early stage, even before they were fully military hardened. For an example, I may just like to tell you that because the military capability between the Russians and the Ukrainians was so high, the differential was so big, there were companies and startups from Silicon Valley which cooperated directly with the Ukrainian government, with the Ukrainian military, and provided them solutions, not only in the form of communication technologies, but even as equipment and platforms, which have been able to reduce that differential between the two armed forces to in a big way. And so all this happened even before they were prepared to be fielded as military equipment. That is how diffused the situation has become in the world today. So as senior military hierarchy, as we see, we have seen a major transition as far as information and communication is concerned. We have seen the period of dispatch riders, and we have gone into the stage of internet, and then thereafter a multitude of other solutions have been made available to us. So what was earlier a very linear means of communication in our good old times has now become very complex. Now we have multitude of networks working together. They are carrying huge amounts of information and data, and they are being provided to very distant consumers who are going to utilize it. So earlier when we used to say that, pen is mightier than the sword, now the time has actually come when we realize that the pen itself is the sword. That is how important information has become. And when we talk of information, the means of communicating that information has also become that much more important. The technologies that are involved in the management of this information are of great interest to all military planners like us. The management of information includes managing the media, which is used for communication, which is used for storage, for securing this information, and the resources which are utilized for manipulating this information. Now, when I say manipulation, I mean manipulation either to create deception in the minds of the adversary, or it is to actually attack the cognitive space of the adversary. That is the kind of world that we are looking at when it is ICT. And so, on the one hand, ICT is dealing with the world of narratives, and on the other hand, it is dealing with precise data management, its analysis, and development of response strategies. And all these activities are very important. The most important factor in all these activities is the integrity of this information that we are utilizing. And so therefore, we have to maintain that single source of truth at all times. All these things need to be looking into. So what does the military ICT ecosystem desire? We need that our ICT systems must cater for the requirements of handling huge amounts of data which are required for war planning, war fighting, and this needs to be done in multiple domains: land, air, sea, space, cyber, everything. And this needs to be done in an AI-enabled battle management system. This is a very important facet. This system in turn will need to work together along with a connected, joint, all-domain command and control system. These systems must enable all our commanders, that is the military planners, to process the information which is coming from the sensors. We should be able to analyze this information and decide and take action wherever it is required. This information needs to be forwarded to the responders who need to take the action. This is the large canvas as far as domain connectivity is concerned. But this is a very big canvas. It can be broken down into smaller networks also. These links can be smaller, the networks can be smaller, but the requirement is that each of these smaller networks and links need to talk to each other. They need to remain interconnected, and at the same time, they must have the capability of scaling up whenever we require it. Military ICT solutions need to facilitate integration of various kinds of domains. It needs to integrate audio, visual, database communication across multiple media platforms. It needs to be done on secure networks in such a manner that it enhances our military capability and degrades the enemy's capabilities. We need encryption to be part of the ICT solutions, whether it is on IoT or IoT of military things, Internet of Military Things. We need QR-based, code-based response mechanisms. This will only provide us faster response capabilities as compared to our adversary. We need automated surveillance systems. We need to exploit the power of quantum computing for communication and security both, encryption. Apart from this, we need efficient power management solutions. We need electronic warfare solutions. We need solutions to counter drones, smart antenna systems. We need new generation radios, AIs, analytical softwares, etc. This list can be endless. And I'm sure all these aspects will get thrashed out as we go through the course of the other discussions during the day. The challenges for such solutions lie in the fact that computing technologies available and employed for ICT today are very varied. Similarly, the communication technologies are varied. On one hand, we are looking at radio, we look at LAN, we are talking about wide area networks, Army net, OFCs, we are talking about satellite communication. So the area is very vast. Now a word about the rapid evolution of technologies which is taking place in the world today. We saw the Armenia-Azerbaijan war when for the first time drones were used. They were projected as a game changer. But at this particular point in time, the drones which were used were sophisticated. They were few in number, but then they were very effective. The advent of drones has brought in many technologies, counter-drone technologies, countermeasures. There has been a change in tactics, and the technology has also got evolved substantially. In a recent Wall Street Journal news report, we come to know that there are cheap robotic attack drones which are now being produced with American help in Ukraine, which can be deployed en masse along with decoys to confuse the enemy, and they are also capable of destroying Russian tanks. These and similar systems are loaded with mini computers which are autonomous, and they are able to autonomously operate, communicate, identify targets, and even finally engage them. And when it comes to identification of targets, they are having the capability both of edge computing as well as back-end connectivity for target designation by an operator behind. This is how rapidly the world of ICT is changing from the Azerbaijan war to now. Another classical example of ICT in action was where the Iranians launched their strikes, drone and missile strikes on the Israelis. There was a huge amount of large volume communication and coordination which was required on the backbone of ICT when the Israeli Iron Dome coordinated with the air forces of the other ally nations and also with the air defense resources. So this was another example of how complex coordination is required through ICT solutions. Apart from this, in the Hamas operations, intelligence tells us that the Israelis were not able to detect the attacks of 7th October primarily because Hamas had moved all its communication and operations offline. They were able to deny that ICT capability to the Israelis to detect those attacks in advance. That is, you may call it denial of information, and it is also an ICT kind of an operation. But on the other hand, The Israelis have taken ICT-directed operations to a totally different level. When they use those mobiles and pager explosives to target their adversaries. So this is how ICT is evolving. It is changing at a very rapid pace, and it is also disruptive. So therefore, it is becoming more and more difficult to keep pace with the changes in technologies which are taking place. Another important lesson which has come to us from the recent conflicts is that we can no longer depend on any foreign source as far as ammunition, equipment, spares, and sustenance of equipment is concerned. So therefore, as far as we are concerned in the armed forces, we are totally committed, and we know that there is no other solution except for the Atmanirbhar mission that we are presently following, and this is the only way forward. So therefore, that brings me to the question of what we need to do. It is inescapable now for all of us, all researchers, developers, industry partners, and practitioners of warfare like us to understand and adapt to these latest changes and thought processes which are taking place in this ICT world. And they're happening, and we need to adapt at a very fast pace. We need to very closely coordinate amongst all of us to identify the requirement of the armed forces and deliver out-of-the-box solutions which are not yet even fielded in the battlefield. But if our technological threshold does not allow us to field out-of-the-box solutions, then at least to provide solutions which are comparable to the capabilities that our adversaries have. But this all needs to be done in quick time. And when he said quick time, then there is always a little bit of tussle between industry and the defense forces, because industry requires time to deliver a solution, and the defense forces have their own procedures and processes of trials and approvals and procurement, which requires some amount of time, but there is no solution. We need to sit together. We need to find ways and means to make this happen so that it is a win-win situation between us as the armed forces and the industry on your side. ICT applications have today converged all media through unified softwares and networks in the civilian world, and we are creating revolutions in healthcare, safety, education, hazard management, R&D, and it is the industry which has brought these changes at a very rapid pace. I think the time has come to harness the capabilities of ICT which are available with the industry and within our country to provide us solutions for national security. Towards this end, I'm sure that this round of discussions being conducted by Bharat Exhibitions will bring better understanding between both sides, that is the armed forces and the industry, through a free exchange of ideas and thoughts. And I wish all the very best to Bharat's Defense Summit 2024 for a very fruitful day ahead. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that inspiring and motivating address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude the opening ceremony, may I invite Brigadier Anil Tandon, retired Director General of Broadband India Forum, to deliver the vote of thanks. Brigadier Tandon has been a guiding force in advancing broadband and ICT solutions for defense communication systems, and his contributions have been pivotal in strengthening India's technological infrastructure. So please join me in welcoming Brigadier Anil Tandon for the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, General Ranjit, General Nair, Joint Commissioner of Police, Sri Shankar Jaiswal, Mr. Pankaj Shukla from the Google, and Mr. Prashant Oberoi from the Norden Communications. In addition, all the delegates from the government, industry, academia, professional institutions, and members from the media, if any. It's good to see, as both General Nair and General Ranjit said, to see a large number of people in uniform attending this session, and I'm sure as they go along, they would gain from it. And for me, it's both an honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of the entire organizational committee of the Bharat Defense Summit. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the esteemed speakers, guests, dignitaries, and the valuable attendees for joining us in the today's thing with the Atmanirbhar Bharat, strengthening digital security and defense solutions for a secure India. So that is the theme of the conference today. Let me begin by thanking firstly the General Ranjit Singh with a very inspiring and address to the whole audience here, laying down really what the defense forces or the army especially requires in terms of the ICT. He brings out how the technology has changing the form of warfare, and one of the main things he talked about was the drone technology. Then the other thing that I think he really highlighted is that you cannot really depend much on the to the imported equipment, and there's a need therefore for the industry to be able to provide equipment in time to make us self-reliant and Atmanirbhar, as we call it. Thank you very much, sir, for a very, very inspiring talk. Next, I would like to thank our special guest of honor, General M.U. Nair, who's from the National Cybersecurity Coordinator. A very important aspect that he brought out, which he deals with, is the need for the cybersecurity. How we are vulnerable today in our civilian and the defense from the cybersecurity attacks, and the role of AI or the deep fake in trying to mislead people in civil street as well as in the defense. So he's asked the manufacturers that they should look at cybersecurity aspect in all their and when they are planning the manufacturing, and build that cybersecurity part of it into their processes. He's also recommending inclusion of cybersecurity in all the training courses, etc., which are conducted. Then next I come to the guest of honor, Shri Shankar Jaiswal, IPS Joint Commissioner of Police, Technology, Cyber and Licensing. Sir, it was very interesting to hear from a police officer as to how, bringing the experience of the police and to be able to recommend the same into the, for the defense. And it was also heartening to know that he's a member of one of the DRDO organizations and an advisor there. Your inputs on the future battle usage, AI, drones, robotics, was certainly, and quantum computing was certainly very, very educative. Well, we know it, but highlighting it was important for all the audience here. My thanks to also Prashant Oberoi, who's been from the Norden Communications. I think we must thank Norden for being able to provide the equipment and that is required by the defense forces and helping in Indian Army or the Indian Defense Forces attain Atmanirbharta. And then Mr. Pankaj Shukla brought out from Google Cloud how they are now ready to provide you a AI solution in a box, something that we used to think in terms of, there's a 4G in a box or 3G in a box, which could be taken by the defense forces when they move across, and in a small area it could provide that. Thank you very much, sir, for bringing that out for us. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Shashidharan MD, who's as the principal organizer for this conference, for his visionary leadership in organizing today's conference, and which is focused on the theme of Atmanirbharta in the field of defense communications. Much appreciated, Shashiji. I'd like to thank all the sponsors of the conference, Norden, Google Cloud, and the others, Cognyte, CV+. Sorry if I don't have the names here in front of me, but to all the sponsors. And obviously, in the end, I would like to extend my appreciation to all the attendees for your engagement and active participation. I'm sure as the day goes along, you will have much more fruitful discussion. On my personal level, it's been a very exhilarating and educative experience to go through this morning session and listen to all the senior officers from the Army and Police see the changes in the advancements in technology and Atmanirbharta, especially when I compare to what I saw during my service, considering that I left the Army 25 years ago. Thank you very much once again to the people of the dais, the speakers, and the audience here. Look forward to an interesting discussion and debate and education on how the Atmanirbharta can be brought in the defense forces. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Brigadier Tandon, for your thoughtful words and for expressing gratitude on behalf of all of us present here today. And I would now request the Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, to kindly do the honors of presenting a token of appreciation to our special guest of honor, Lieutenant General M.U. Nair. Thank you very much indeed, sir. May I request Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh to present a token of appreciation to a guest of honor, Shri B. Shankar Jaiswal, IPS. Thank you, sir. We present to Mr. Prashant Oberoi. Thank you, sir, for that insightful keynote address. We present to Mr. Pankaj Shukla. Thank you, Mr. Shukla, for that enlightening industry address. Thank you, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh, for kindly doing the honors. May I request Mr. Shashidharan and Brigadier Anil Tandon to jointly do the honors of presenting a token of gratitude and appreciation to Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh. Thank you, and may I request all our dignitaries to kindly come together in the front for a group photograph, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, with this we conclude the opening ceremony of the Bharat Defence Summit 2024. I take this opportunity once again to thank all our esteemed speakers and dignitaries for their invaluable contributions to this session. Thank you once again. Thank you to each one of you for your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a short break of 15 minutes for tea and coffee, which is served in the adjacent hall on the right-hand side. The next session, which is of technical presentations, will commence at 11:45. I would request all our delegates to kindly be seated back in time for the next session, which is of presentations. And I will request all our eminent speakers of the upcoming session to kindly load or check their presentations with us before they proceed for tea. Thank you. Please enjoy your cup of tea and coffee and kindly be back in time for the next session. Thank you.